Imagine that you couldn't recognize the faces of your loved ones, or see the smiles on your children or grandchildren, or that you couldn't read a newspaper or watch television or drive. How would that change your life? Millions of Americans live like this, and their vision can't be corrected with regular glasses or medicine or surgery. Vision loss can come later in life, caused by an eye disease like macular degeneration or glaucoma, or due to diabetes or stroke. Others are born with impaired sight. Impaired sight brings both physical and emotional challenges, and while it changes the way people see, it doesn't have to change the way they live. I'm Betty White. Here in Southern California, we have a marvelous resource for people of all ages with impaired sight, the nonprofit Center for the Partially Sighted. This agency has helped countless thousands of people since it opened its doors.
The center has been in existence as a place where services are given since the spring of 1978. What was happening in our country was that people either got services that were appropriate for the totally blind, or they got no help at all. And I decided this didn't make any sense, since the vast majority of the visually impaired, including a substantial majority of the legally blind, are not blind. They're partially sighted, and they can use their remaining vision together with optical or electro-optical aids to function visually and independently in the framework of fully sighted society.
Basically what I do is that I allow them to be able to gain a certain amount of independence back. Many of my patients, they cannot read the newspaper, they cannot see their bills, they cannot write checks. I tend to give them a little bit of hope or a little bit of ability to be able to do that again. We can do a low vision examination, which involves checking their best prescription. We can also try to see if high-powered reading glasses can help them to see better. We can use magnifying glasses, magnifiers, and telescopes in order to help them be able to see small print clearly, also enable them to see traffic signals and street signs as they're trying to cross the street. If these things don't work, we can go to electronic equipment, such as, they're called closed-circuit television. It's basically a video camera device that's attached to a screen, and you put your reading material under it and it magnifies it onto the screen. There are so many different things depending on the person and what their goals are, and we can prescribe various devices to help them.
So the CCTV is, I would consider that our workhorse in terms of the technology. There are portable versions of the CCTV. They're typically handheld. They look like they're, just little screen. They look like Game Boys, but bigger. And they have the LCD screen on there. And some of them that might have been shown are the Quick Look or the Pocket Viewer. Those are portable CCTVs. And the advantage of that is that you can take it from one place to another. If you have an office meeting, or if you have conferences that you're going to that you need to read, that's a nice one. You can't lug the big one around, so that's a nice portable one.
Actually, originally when I started to lose my eyesight, I worked as a biologist for an environmental consulting firm, and I'd been doing that for over 7 years. And it was a huge transition for me to figure out, okay, well, I can't really do my job anymore, and I don't know what's next. So when I finally did end up quitting my job, I decided that I would study yoga. And I came to Santa Monica, and the same time that I found the Center for the Partially Sighted, I found a yoga studio here that I studied and got my certification and did all my training, and I've been teaching yoga ever since.
So when a child has been diagnosed with vision problems early on, we as low vision specialists here at the center, we can provide glasses, visual aids, and a program of visual stimulation to help those connections between the eyes and the brain to develop. Having a child who is born with blindness or vision impairment is really one of the most devastating things. Well, I think the best part of my job at the present time, now that I am visually impaired myself, is just to see how the center, how we're able to change the lives of these people.
We are focusing on 4 primary areas: adaptive skills training, which is primarily in the home type of emphasis, which would be on cooking, meal preparation, drug management, washing, taking care of clothing, anything that would involve activities of daily living.
It helped me a lot. He can do in the kitchen a little bit, and he helped me a little bit. It make my life easier.
The second area would be low vision aids training, that once they've had the eye examination here, low vision exam, which is the primary objective is to find out what vision is left and find tools that will enhance the vision, go into the home and help the client to utilize that adaptive piece of equipment in a way that's functional and meaningful for the client. The third area is orientation and mobility instruction, and that really involves more activities outside the home, although it can involve inside home safety as well. And this means the ability to move around your environment safely, but also knowing where you are in space so that you're not getting lost.
The person needs to first be safe. That's the mobility part. So with Toko, you can see he's using 2 canes. One is for his balance and one is for he knows where he's going. He's very visible to people. That brings out his visibility to the drivers and other people in his environment. So they notice that, hey, this person has visual impairment, I better be a little more careful around him.
A lot of patients out there are looking for programs. They're looking for groups that could help them. And what they don't know is that we exist and we're on a sliding scale, and that they really can get great help here and it doesn't have to cost a fortune.
I think that we take people in distress and create a foundation and put some floor under them and say, you know, hang on for the ride, we're going to help you get through this, and you can get through it, and they're a team of people who will walk the path with you. You don't have to do this by yourself.
And that's what I come to the center for mostly now, is to be with other people who have similar vision loss that understand my situation and I understand theirs, and we exchange thoughts and feelings and ideas and suggestions.
And they start to feel some sense of safety, and they're not quite as vulnerable emotionally or in their life.
This was a whole new world of people I never knew existed, and now I know it, and also the people who are trying to help. That is, it's just been a revelation.
It's very scary. You go through a lot of different stages, at least I did. I'm sure everyone's experience is different, but your first experience is denial. There were a few years there that I knew something in the back of my head was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. So I think the attitude is you just have to just keep going.
We emphasize what people have left rather than what they have lost.
I think there's always hope.
The center has given people with low vision renewed hope. Children can look forward to growing up to hold meaningful jobs. Adults can enjoy living independently. And families are reassured that their loved ones are safe. I encourage you to support this group by helping with their work in any way you can. Call 310-458-3501 or visit www.lowvision.org and learn how you can help.